Hello, I'm Dr. Inman. Most of you know me. I'm the guy that does frequency-specific low-level laser therapy and VOM technology throughout the United States and throughout the world, and have a whole lot of people that are utilizing the tools that we use for frequency-specific laser therapy. This small video is about financial considerations and return of investments for laser therapy. As medical practitioners, we often don't talk about the dollars and cents aspects of laser therapy in medical practice. We're just supposed to assume that that just happens all by itself. However, in the private sector, in the real world, we're delivering valuable services and getting paid for that, and if we don't get paid adequately for that, then the technology dies, essentially. So it has to be profitable, and that's fine. A lot of people don't like to talk about the costs of these devices. However, the most common reason that people want this technology is because of what it does. It treats thousands of disease conditions essentially effectively, and it's probably one of the more important things that have occurred in the last 20 years of medical therapy. At least that's my opinion. In the peacetime, everybody wants the technology. However, the most common reason that people don't get it is, quote unquote, I don't have the money for it. It's a $6,900 or $7,000 device essentially, and people say this, which makes me crazy. Well, I'm going to save up money, and as soon as I get $7,000, I'm going to go ahead and buy one of them lasers. And the fact of the matter is, they're never going to save $7,000. Nobody ever does that. If they have money drop in their lap, then they say, yeah, I'll go ahead and buy a laser, which happens a lot. But the fact of the matter is, the people that are smart realize that when they go ahead and use their credit card, which is the only way you can buy it, essentially, they usually pay for this laser long before the credit card bill comes. In other words, they generate the amount of income that this laser costs, if not weekly, at least within the first month. And this becomes kind of important. It's a smart way to use your credit card. It's a smart way to use money. It's a smart way to build your practice. The financial numbers that are seen in practices that use this technology essentially are so incredible that I won't even mention them because you won't believe them. But nonetheless, it becomes an important consideration. When we basically add new technologies to our practices, it's because we want to do things we haven't been able to do, of course, which this does, and also we want to be able to make sure that it is not a black hole where we throw money and time essentially as a means to try to get things taken care of. So this particular instrument basically is designed to do a lot of different types of things, thousands of different disease conditions. We're going to be adding another 200 to 300 more protocols. There will be about 2,500 total protocols with this device that we'll be able to utilize and apply to thousands of disease processes essentially as a means to engage the body to try to take care of it. However, as you're able to apply this in your practice, you can come up with all kinds of applications for this particular technology in your specific practice. So in a clinical practice, chiropractic or veterinary practice, this device pays for itself in a week, which is a no-brainer basically as far as taking care of this condition. Like I say, before your credit card bill comes, the device is paid for. You could basically use this device until the battery runs out, which takes about 2 weeks, throw it in the garbage can and buy another one and still be money ahead. There are other people that buy the laser because they want to apply it to a specific condition. For instance, they want to apply it to their dog or their human or their family member for a specific disease condition. And if they're applying it to their canine, they're usually doing it as a means to try to bypass a surgery that's probably going to cost as much as the laser costs, which is interesting. And the success rate is over 90%, so that's a pretty good bet. People who also purchase this for themselves and use it on their family members have to evaluate what the value of that particular therapy is generally and aesthetically in their particular lifestyle essentially. And so if you can bypass elbow surgery like I did in my daughter with this laser, then you're money ahead. If you bypass some other chronic condition that we see in chronic pain and knee conditions and keep from having to have your knee replaced, for instance, the money that you'll actually save by the 20% that you'll owe the insurance or the powers that be essentially that operate on your knee is more than the cost of this particular instrument. So the value of this instrument, the return on investment is immense. However, there's other values to this particular device that we haven't really even spoke about, and that's the fact that it generates through word of mouth new clients. And each new client that comes to a practice essentially is probably worth about 4 of what these things are worth. You should average about 1.2 to 2.3 new clients per week. And if you figure that out per month, again, the laser basically pays for itself over and over and over. A new client in veterinary medicine has been evaluated at $22,000 per new client because they stay with you for 3.5 years and they have something like 2.3 animals and some other statistics. Somebody sat down and figured that out. But the multiplying effect of having this new technology in your practice, I cannot underestimate. and you shouldn't underestimate either. I would point out that the price of this laser will go up about $800 at the end of January, so those of you who put an order in before January 31st, 2022 will pay the old price, which is $69.50, including all the shipping and handling and taxes, etc., unless you're in California, and all of the programming. However, it's going to go up $800, and the Avant people have held off in increasing their price for 2 years, and now because the cost of everything going up, they'll also increase their price about $750 to $800. So if you have any interest in this and you're going to buy one of these lasers in the calendar year of 2022, you better get in touch with me before the end of this month. It is now the 11th of January, and you've got about 20 more days before this price goes up. So thank you very much for listening to this, and if you have any more questions about return of investment, essentially, and also financial considerations with this instrument in your practice, feel free to contact me at area code 208-640-3430, or you can email me at drbill@vomtech.com. That's V as a Victor, OM as in Mary, TECH.com. Thank you very much, and have a great day.